Okay, and welcome to Greg's Let's Make a Pizza Volume 2. I'm going to just mix all the ingredients now and we'll see how this goes. Zero my scale. I need 532 grams of flour. You can't read the scale, but you'll have to trust me. Riveting. We get the flour done. I usually measure the water next, so I'll do that. Re-zero the scale. Add my Costco water. This is brought to you by. And it says I require 335 grams of water. Note the scientific method. Scary. And now I usually add the salt to the water, so I'll just measure out the salt, zero that. And according to my plan here, I need 15 grams of salt, and it's Bob's Red Mill sea salt. "15 grams is one of those about 9, 12, 15. Gadzooks, bang on. Of course, you can't see the scale, so you may think I'm lying. I add it to the water and stir like crazy. Now I have to weigh out the yeast, and I'm switching scales to my finer drug scale now. I've got a different size cup, and I'm using an instant baking yeast, same package I used last week. And it says I require 0.09. We'll see how this goes. Okay, it's time for the wet fingered adjustment tool. O90. Fantastic. And now I throw that into the dough, into the flour, and making sure it's all out of there. Shut this off. Stack it over there. I'm done with that part. Put my dough hook on. Remember to raise. And for the first while, I just give it a blast to mix the dry yeast into the flour. And remembering to take the spoon out of the water. I add water and stir. I use the stir setting, so it's quite slow. And every once in a while I shut it off. It's safer to shut it off. Shut it off and mix the dough in a bit more, or the flour in a bit more. I think in the interest of sanity, I'll shut off the video now and perhaps pick it up when it's later. Nobody wants to watch a dough hook go around for a long period of time. Bye now. Okay, the dough was mixed in the KitchenAid for, it says 4.5 minutes according to my timing, and so now it's a shaggy mass, I think is the term, and the bottom of the bowl is quite clean, so I'm ready to mess with it a bit by hand. And I think everybody has their method for kneading. This is mine. I sort of roll it with my hands like that. It came from my pottery school where they told me to make cow faces as I was kneading the dough, and it's sort of the same sort of thing, though one's interpretation of a cow face can be different than another. But after a few kneads like that, I think it's looking a lot better, and it's, I guess, homogeneous. It's still sticky as blazes, but a couple more of those. And I can't actually remember anybody teaching me how to do a stretch and fold, but my method goes like this. And I probably repeat that until the dough seems to fight back far more. It happens in shorter frequencies. The dough gets closer to being ready or ready to be sat out in bulk. I'm hoping to incorporate some air into the dough as I'm doing this, with big fat thumbs that seem to push holes in it. I'm not, I can't say that I'm gentle with the dough, as it is probably obvious. I do that until it really starts to resist my stretching it out, and by that time I think it needs a rest, so I'll put the cover over it and let it rest. And I think that's about it. Make sort of a ball out of it. And that's what it looks like now. And that's what it looks like with a lid on, and I'll stop it for a while and I'll let you know how long it goes. Okay, it's had a 15-minute rest for a while, and I love it at this point when I take the lid off, because it's like somebody stole the dough I had under there and gave me this incredibly soft and stretchy dough. So I'll do the same thing. I just put it back into a ball, and then I do the same sort of operation, and now it stretches quite well, but you'll notice that I'm tearing it a bit, but I haven't actually worried about that. So I'm still trying to put some air into it. Flip it over. Stand the pluviometer back up. And it starts resisting my stretching much quicker now. I guess you could get all knowledgeable and scientific and explain how the gluten is forming and it makes it stronger and all that kind of stuff, but that's not my bag. I think we're only good for about, well, one more, because it really doesn't want to be disturbed much. So we've got a dough that isn't sticking to my hand quite so much. Any of the hands come off clean, but it's still not there in terms of where I want it to be before I put it into the bulk. So I'm going to cover it up again and leave it for another 10 minutes, say, this time. It's all very scientifically based, and we'll see you later. Okay, we're back again. That was a 10 minutes rest, and we'll find out what the dough looks like now. strikes me I should probably find out what the temperature is, so. And it's 22.4. The house itself is 20 degrees. So I guess we've added some heat by working the dough a bit. But that's fine, we're all right. Again, the dough is much more extensible now. I'll do a couple of stretch and folds again, and it really wants to stretch now. It's nothing holding it back. Still trying to build some air in it, but you knew that. And now it just doesn't want to go much further than that. So what I'm going to do is let it sit for another 10-minute session, and then I'm just going to put it into bulk after I take off my 80 grams for the pluviometer. You can see some of the air showing up, but it's still a bit sticky yet, but we're getting there. So I'll cover it up, let it sit for another 10 minutes, and then I'll cover the whole thing up and let it sit for about 10 minutes. Hello there, I'm back again. This is going to be the last one. I think by now we're pretty darn close to being a decent dough. It's a little sticky to touch. But at this point, I'm gonna cut some off for the pluviometer. I need 80 grams for that. That's 92. So there you go. 82. Exciting, eh? There we are at 80. I'll just ball that up, and you don't have to watch me shake it to the bottom of the tube, but it'll be ready to go. And this, I'll just make a decent ball out of it. So ooh. Then it'll go back in here. I'll cover it with some saran wrap or cling, and we'll be ready to go. That was making the dough. With any sort of luck, it will turn out. It's going to sit in bulk for 18 hours, and then we'll take it out and let her rip. Bye-bye.